Myers Metal Detectors, located in sunny Tampa, Florida, where we sell nothing but fun and adventures, treasure hunting gear, and anything you can imagine for metal detecting. Give us a call, 813-237-1939. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Live from sunny Florida, it's Treasure Talk.
Welcome, folks. Did
Hey,
I do
folks,
that right,
how you
Joe?
doing? Hey, you getting it down pat, Phil?
Did I do it right?
Yeah.
I got to yell to Jocelyn to turn the sound down on her computer there. It's on your keyboard, honey. There you go. Sweet. So anyway, folks, we got an exciting guest here. As you can see, Jeff is not with us, and he's the guy who runs this live stream for me, and he does a perfect job, and I got tonight to fill in, and everything I thought that could go wrong went wrong. We had a major downpour. That's why my hair's wet. Luckily, I had t-shirts in the shop here, and I just put a dry one on. But my pants are soaked and my shoes are squishy, and it's going to be an excellent show, isn't it, Joe?
You're doing good, Phil. It's all good in your hood over there.
I was going to say, don't he talk?
Yeah. My name's Jeff.
All right, friends. I guess today, as always, today's show is brought to you by your friends at Myers Metal Detectors, where we sell fun and adventure. And you could do the rest, Joe. Let's hear it.
And we promote the fun and awesome hobby of metal detecting, relic hunting, fossil hunting, bottle collecting, everything that has to do with buried treasure. Make it.
That's not what you were supposed to say, but that works. Let's
It was
see.
close to no cigar.
Yeah, the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed here by the Treasure Talk guest and members belong solely to the guest and member and not necessarily to Phil Myers, Jocelyn Myers, Myers Metal Detectors. I should say Jeff Mona and Joe Veazey.
It ain't easy being Joe Veazey.
It ain't. And of course, the purpose of Treasure Talk is to promote the hobby of treasure hunting and metal detecting and treasure hunting in all forms, and to educate our members in a fun, informative manner. Whew. So was it hot over your way today, Joe?
Oh, big time.
It was so hot today. It was mango hot. My mangoes are finally ripe now.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So did you eat that one I gave you?
My wife did.
Okay.
I like mangoes, but I like them made into like a smoothie. I don't eat them, nor she ate it though.
Jocelyn said too bad. Yeah. Well, mine were so sweet. So excellent. Anyway, we got a lot of stuff going on here at the shop, of course. We got sales on just about every detector. Mind Lab's got a load of stuff. We've got the Xterra Elite. We got the Expedition. We got Expedeas. We've got the Manicore with 3 coils, the Equinox with 3 coils. We got everything. So if you need something, just give me a call tomorrow. I'll be at the shop from 10:30 to 3:30, or call me on Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday. And with that being said, we might talk a little bit tonight with Joanna about the new Garrett products that everybody's seen on the computer. So that should be an interesting entry into the metal detecting market. Their multi-frequency detector.
Yeah, it's about time that they joined it.
Yes, because
it looks pretty cool. One of our folks that's on in the chat tonight, and he watches our show every Monday religiously. Mr. Mike Mayo, Dirty Digs, Dirty Paws Detecting. He was lucky enough to win one of those. Congratulations, Mike.
Yeah, that was cool that he won one. So Betty here says, loving my Knox 900. Thanks, Phil. That's awesome. All right. Well, let's bring on Joanna from Focus Speed. And if you've got questions, remember, folks, just type them in. If Joe or I don't see them, Jocelyn will yell them from across the room at the top of her voice.
We got questions.
Okay. Well, Joanna, welcome.
Thank you for having me for a second time.
Oh, we're glad you're here, and as you can see, Jeff's not with me, but I think I pulled it off so far. So
Yeah,
so
looks
far,
good.
so far so good. So I guess we'll get started because a lot of people probably don't know you other than through the Facebook. So tell us a little bit where you're at, uh, what the temperature is there, of course, and how long you've been metal detecting, and what metal detector you're currently using right now.
So I'm in Orange County, California. I've detected maybe 8, 10 years. I love the hobby. Anybody who knows me knows I'll talk about it. You know, do it as much as I can. The weather here right now, we have a bit of a heat wave. I believe it was 88 today when I looked yesterday, but it was much hotter. It felt like when I was out relic hunting today.
Well, awesome. Well, it
Did you
was
find
hot.
anything?
Did I find I was just scoping out. So we're hiking to places. I generally when I research a place, I then hike it to see for safety reasons. Is it going to be safe to hike? What is this, what is my surroundings? What is happening? And then I'll come back with a detector.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Now, is this on public land or private land? How do you?
Both. It depends on, where we have permission and then public land as well.
Okay. And does California let you hunt on public lands?
Some areas yes, some areas no, but some areas yes. No, it's land that nobody uses. Nobody's been there, in years. It's
Okay.
just my research looking into where I can find good relics. Yes,
Right. So if it's like state park, are you allowed to hunt in your state parks?
I don't hunt in the state parks, so it's more in the green belts between in the HOA green belts.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, because like here in Florida, you can, well, I shouldn't say that. You can hunt some state parks. If they're beach state parks, they'll let us hunt the beach because we're cleaning the beach for them,
Like,
So, but in inland state park, they think we're going to be finding Indian relics and artifacts, and they don't want us doing it there. So it's kind of amazing. The different states have different rules, and you got to be on top of that.
I've tried so many times to write articles to try breaking it down for every state. Even writing an article on every state, I can't do it. It's so complicated state to state and even county to county.
And I would say county to county and city to city, because some
Hmm.
counties allow it in my area and some don't. And our city of Tampa, if you read their rules on their park and recs, they say you can't metal detect in the parks. And I myself personally and other people have been doing it for 40 years, but you can't tell we were there. And but I know that you're not supposed to. Now there are some city beaches that they allow us to metal detect. It's just weird how the rules are, and they'll
Yeah.
change them, and you won't know about it. So that's kind of something that people should be aware of always.
Mhm.
You know. So what got you started in metal detecting?
Uh, well, first of all, I grew up way out in the woods in Canada, and it's kind of like in my blood to be outdoors. My mom, this Christmas, in January, I was up there. She said, "What were you doing as a kid? You were always in the woods more than your brother." And I was explaining that I was looking for places to build cabins as an adult. So I
Ah,
think it's a part of my background of just being in the dirt, in the woods, looking for things. And moving to Orange County, I was a new mom. I was newly married, and it was really hard to just a different world for me. And when I found detecting, it's like I found my people, and I just loved it. I loved the people because I understood them a lot more. There's not no materialism. There's no, trying to keep up with the Joneses. We're out there because we just want to find things.
hmm
Mhm.
now go ahead, Joe. You have a comment?
No, metal detect. I was just going to say, metal detecting community is bar none. The camaraderie and the friendships that you
Mhm.
create along the way are cherished for forever, basically. So
Right, right. I live in the heart of where the Housewives of Orange County is filmed. I run into each one of them
oh,
time to
cool.
time, and that's just not my world, right? My world is I show up and pick up my kid, and my hair's messy with mud on my face, and
As long as you're having fun. But we had a question here from Tom Becker, and
Mhm.
he's asking, I was going to ask this question. Have you ever used a detector for gold hunting?
I do. I go out gold hunting here or there. I'm actually going to get an OKM ground penetrating radar. They're sending me one to go take it in the desert and find veins.
All right, now is that going to ground penetrating radar? I think I saw that model. Doesn't it have like a big square end to it, uh, and it goes down feet instead of inches, right?
Yeah, depending on which one you're looking at, I'm going to be using the Rover C4, and that's just a thin stick that I'll be carrying. You really walk in a grid. I went actually to South Carolina. It was in February. I can't remember exactly when, but I went to their American office and I sat and I for 4 days straight. Just we worked. We all of us got up, had breakfast together, lunch together, and dinner together, working and learning the machines and learning the technology and really testing it in different scenarios.
Right. And could you use that for relic hunting too, besides
Yes, you
for
can use it for relic hunting. You can use it gold hunting and relic hunting, I would say.
So, Joanna, what detector are you actually swinging these days?
The legend and the equinox, and here or there I bring out my tesoro. So
Oh, okay.
I like to really mix it up, and I like to mix it up with coils. I'm generally a small coil person because the places I detect, there's so much ground, bush, just grass, everything, that a small coil, I love how I can get around everything. And I have either an elliptical or just a simple round. I even carry a few coils with me in a backpack sometimes to switch them out a bunch when I get to a relic place.
Yeah, that's what I use when I'm actually dirt
Mhm.
hunting, relic hunting. Is a smaller coil,
Right.
separates all the trash. I
Oh,
love
I
that
love it.
small
Yeah.
coil.
At old home sites because of all the iron nails. They're just great.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I was reading a comment. One of them was from Dirty Paul's Detecting. He's the gentleman who won the Garrett Vortex.
Mhm.
And he's asking, how would you dig that deep? I guess talking about the ground penetrating radar.
That's for, a lot of like gold mines would use that. These are serious gold hunters. So would I be digging that deep? No, not at all. But you can go down. One of their products goes down 820 feet, right? But you can go
Wow.
10 feet. You can go, you know, 1 foot. It just depends.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Here in Florida, if we went down to a few feet, sooner or later we're going to start hitting water. And the
True.
sand's going to cave in on us. I always watch YouTube videos of guys digging bottles up north, and they're digging these massive deep holes, and we couldn't do that here. It would cave in on you. It would
Yeah.
be a safety issue for sure. Well, I warned you about this question here. This one is from Tim Naylor. He's the Mumbles man, and he's asking what your most unusual find is.
Yeah, I know that's a hard one. I mean, I think I still bring up and I brought it up the last time, is probably the branding iron. I have a branding iron from when the Spanish owned California. And so that is an unusual find. A lot of museums have gotten involved in that, historians have gotten involved in that. We're still trying to figure out the rancho years later, but they've determined that the iron comes from San Juan Capistrano Mission. They've dated it in the 1800s. So that's kind of a neat one because of just because the history of it. So when I found it, I was with a girlfriend detecting, and I always remember I kind of pulled it out of the ground, and I went, I think I found a branding iron. I just went silent, staring at it like if it was an alien. And she goes, no way. And then she turns around and she looks at it. We just sat there staring at it like we just are watching an alien. And I'm like, now I have to hike this back out. But, realizing it was a kind of a really neat find. Which
Yeah.
Equinox am I running? The 800.
Okay.
Mhm.
Have you seen the 900?
I've seen it, but I haven't swung it.
Yeah, it's just it's basically the same detector except for you don't have to worry about the coil ears, the leaking. I don't know if you do any water hunting,
I
but
do.
uh, okay, but they some of the 600, so hopefully these are more waterproof. They're waterproof to 16 feet.
Carbon
And
fiber shaft.
oh yeah, the carbon makes it lighter, but it
Right.
uses the cool thing about it uses all the same coils. But you said you have the Legend also, right?
Yes, yeah. I
And
like the legend of how compact I can get it, throw in a backpack, especially with a small coil. It just is, it goes so nice and tiny.
yeah, that's
Mhm.
how the 800 is too. They make them. I'm waiting for the manufacturers. Somebody needs to do this. Make a small detector bag because all the detector bags are big enough to fit a full detector in it. They
A
haven't.
full, a full grown human being, you can put one
Yeah,
in there.
yeah. I could hit Joe in the head and put him in the back and the bag and haul him out.
So I
So
do admit I do have an article coming out where I am just testing various different backpacks, not detector backpacks. I do live in California with a lot of homeless. I don't want something that screams I have a detector in my backpack. So I've gone and bought, I think it's about 5 different or even 6 different backpacks from Amazon, the cheaper ones, because not everyone can afford an expensive backpack. And I've been testing them with putting all the equipment and hiking with them, seeing how they're good. And so there will be an article on that, because it was just something I was curious on. Can I get a decent backpack that can carry the detector, carry the shovel, not be screaming, "Hey, I have a detector in my backpack," and be comfortable for long hikes in or in very hot weather?
yeah, I think that one of the good things about our hobby is most people have no idea what a good metal detector costs.
True,
They
true.
just they don't because people always say that to me. Aren't you worried about uh, people wanting to take your detector? No, they think you buy them down at Kmart or Walmart rather. So, but yeah, you don't want your detector packed. Like I think XP has a real nice pack.
Yeah.
But yes, it would scream, "I got a metal detector in here."
Hmm.
So, so you have trouble with homeless there?
We have, yeah, we have big trouble with it, especially, relic hunting, because I'm going quite often where nobody can see me. And that's where probably the homeless are also living. Like today, where we went, we hiked up to an area, you wouldn't think there'd be any homeless there. And there was a total beautiful, I mean, they made a small little mansion, the homeless person living there. And so, but we determined they're not going to bother us. We're not going to bother them and we'll be fine. But yes, I have to worry. I do carry, I think I discussed it on the last podcast. I do wear a belt that is a police belt where most security guards use the same belt. That helps me a lot. I have pepper spray. I have a knife on me. And I have to just be very vigilant. We stopped using headphones. So I was always using headphones detecting, but for pure safety, for rattlesnakes, but homeless, we don't detect anymore with headphones.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I know they make the Rattlers Detector Pro. I've sold a few of those. I don't stock them. I just special order them. They have the headphone like what I'm wearing here, that with just on one side, so you can hear if anybody's coming up on you or hear the
Right.
rattlesnakes. And that's what they're called, rattlers. But I imagine they would be excellent for what you're doing there if you wanted to have one side. And it looks like Jeff is on there. Hey Jeff, we miss you, buddy. I think I got it. I'm doing the live stream right.
Yeah.
So
How's it going, Big Jeff?
yeah, he's out in Arizona on vacation. So uh,
Enjoy your vacation.
yes, and I think he's not metal detecting. The only time I went to Arizona was on a mine lab. They took us out at one of the Gold Prospecting of America claims and showed us how to use gold prospecting detectors. I thought it was kind of cool, but the environment is totally different than here in the Florida. Totally different. Got you got snakes and you got big cactuses and all kinds of mess out there that we don't have here. And that looks like one of the questions from Tom Becker is, do you wear, where did it go? Do you wear snake leg guards?
Yes, I'll have some always in my backpack, and I will wear them at times, and as well as I have long boots.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you walked up on any rattlesnakes?
I have not. It's a fear, meaning I've done it when I'm not detecting, but it's a huge fear. I walked up to other snakes where we've turned over a rock or so to discover there's a snake under it. So yeah, it's a fear.
You got to
Yeah.
be careful when you're outdoors, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. All different types of animals. I guess you have bears out there too, right?
But not really. I mean, yeah, Canada where I grew up in major bear country, but not here.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
yeah. I'm not worried at all for bears here.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
more worried about homeless people than bears.
Yeah, I would be too, Joanna. But let me ask you this question. So you carry a knife with you. Is there any issues with concealed carry over there at all? Or
Oh yeah, I would have to get a concealed carry permit. There are a lot of detectors who do have it here. I do not have one. But yes, it's a definitely, something that a lot of detectors will get here. They on beach detectors even because they have been jumped for their detectors.
yeah,
oh, geez.
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
So on the beach, they've been jumped for their detectors.
Yeah, some have been jumped at night when they're detecting, and for their fines, but not that often. You just have to watch where you're going, really.
Yeah. So I did want to remind folks if they didn't know this, and I'll embarrass Jocelyn. She's over there taking the questions, but tomorrow's her birthday. So happy birthday a day early. And she won't let me tell anybody how old she is.
You
Happy
need to
birthday.
go see my daughter at the jewelry store.
Yeah. Joe's daughter is the manager of a jewelry store here in in Tampa. So she's tomorrow's the big day. I got to get busy for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let me go through my list. And folks, remember if you got questions for Joanna, why don't you tell us a little bit about Focus Speed, about the website too? I know you have the Facebook group, but tell the folks about your website.
So the website, I started it because I wanted content for intermediate to advanced detectors. I wanted content that was beyond what the same content that gets regurgitated on the low level side on the internet. And I also wanted it for us who are in the intermediate or advanced side of detecting, where we're not spending hours in forms. I love forms. I love the old forms. I'm a strong believer in reading them, but sometimes if you want to get information, you might be in there for hours reading tons of comments to get the little tidbits that you want to learn from. So I wanted a place where it's articles, not YouTube videos, where people, for instance, there's times I can't watch a YouTube video because I need dead silence, where we can read and learn detecting. And what I've done is I interview some of the top detectors around the world. I mean, I'm really impressed with the roster of people I've gotten to detect. I've gotten to interview. I write articles and tips, and other people write articles as well. There's a really good article there on taking the manicord deeper, written by Chris in San Diego. There's articles on just anything. I mean, we really have pushed the limits on writing on different topics. I try to keep it entertaining. I try to write it that no AI could write something like that. I try to make it personal and really tips oriented. And people who've written for me, there's Nicole who writes for me. She's adorable. And here or there, she'll send me an article. I'm like, nope, needs to make it stronger. Nope, I want more tips, right? And if it, to me, if an expert detectorist reads it, I want them to either say, I just learned something new, or wow, that's really good. I want to forward it to somebody else.
Awesome.
Mhm.
And I've read some of your interviews, and Buckle Boy Metal Detecting said I've heard they interview excellent guests in Focus
I
Speed.
just interviewed him. He's my last interview.
I know I saw that, so I thought that was kind of funny. But who has been your favorite person to interview?
It's such a hard one to narrow down. And he's maybe probably going to listen. I'll say Stan Ross because he's a legend in the ring finding world and he's very private. And I've been grateful we got close as friends, and he let me interview him. And, I cherish that friendship. Um, then let's see, who else can I, there's so many because it's led me to other people. Interviews have opened the door to interviewing their friends. It's opened the door to becoming great friends with the interviewer, getting to know them on a personal level. I do all my interviews by, they have, except for one, but all of them are written interviews because I don't want to misquote anybody. So
Oh,
Tim is asking, what is the name of the website? Focusspeed.com. So focus, like focusing, and then speed, like how fast are you swinging your coil.com.
and why did you choose that name?
Okay, so that's an odd one. What happened is, some of you might remember, I was with All Metal Mode and Dirt Digest. And one day I walked away from both of them and I had a few articles on both sites. And I wanted to place them somewhere just so I can keep them. I'm actually severely learning disabled, severely dyslexic. So when I write an article, it's a big achievement. And I wanted to keep them versus them getting deleted. And I own about 200 other websites and a lot of domains. And I thought, I don't want to put another dollar into the magazines because I was really putting the money into Dirt Digest. And so I looked at every domain I owned and thought, which one can I just use? Because I don't want to put another dollar into buying another thing for this. And Focus Speed I had, and I thought, okay, this kind of fits. And that's how I ended up with it. And I only put the few articles there because I thought it'd be there for my parents and my friends, so it doesn't go into the Never Land getting deleted. But then people privately started messaging me, people I didn't even know, saying, please don't stop writing, please keep going. And that's how Focus Speed came along. I wasn't expecting people. It was random people really sending really nice messages. Don't stop. You're doing a good job. We want you to still keep going.
Okay, and
Mhm.
you also have the Focus Speed Facebook group too.
Yeah, yeah. That's just to help with the site. Mhm.
Yeah, and people post finds there. And my buddy Joe above you there, he doesn't do the Facebook, so he doesn't get to see all the people's posts. I think that's the best part of Facebook is seeing what
Yeah,
find.
I miss a little bit about that, but I'm not really a fake booker. Uh, I uh, I just with all the politics, there's always friends that are in there and they're fighting back and forth, and
Yeah, you got to stay
I
away.
don't need that. I just rather not be on there.
Yeah, that's kind of how we do the group
If you
here.
have a business, it's the best thing. It helps your business. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. Because I have a lot of customers. Joanna, I sell wine for a living, so I have a lot of customers that are on Facebook, but that's because they have a business. Do you have Instagram?
I have Instagram as well. Yes. So
Okay. Well,
I have my own personal, that's J hit underscore hidden treasures. And then I have a Focus Speed one. And
okay.
so I have both of those. I do not have TikTok. I do not have a YouTube. I try to keep the Focus Speed group on Facebook educational. I don't know, you can say if it is, but I try to
Yeah.
post things to help people identify items or interesting little tidbits.
Absolutely. It's for them to get educated. So that's great.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it looks like we had a comment or a question from Tim Anderson. He's asking, how can I refer a guest for you? And if that's for focus speed, they can just contact you on there, right?
Yeah, you can definitely contact me either through social media. You can use the contact form and send it. This contact form's a bit slow, but on purpose to avoid spam, and it's been great. So when you open up the contact page, it'll be a tiny bit slow, but that really saves my time with spam.
Yeah, and if that's for the Treasure Talk show, you can send the info to the Treasure Talk Show at gmail.com. That's Jeff does all the booking because I'm busy here in the shop selling stuff all the time, and
Mhm.
I'm lucky if I get out once a week to do some detecting because it's been crazy with all the new detectors coming out. Naka's brought stuff out. Have you seen the score, the double score, and soon to be
The
triple score?
triples. I've not played with the scores. I've been wanting to. I think I'm going to try to get a triple score to play with it. I have the Simplex Ultra BT, so I do play with that every so often. What kind of
Okay.
detecting do I like to do the most? I do a lot of relic. So I'm close to the beach. I'll do beach, and I really started with beach. I do park and I do relic, but I really try to find relics where it's impossible to find relics. So I'm in Orange County, where most everything's cemented over from the '60s onwards, and I try to find places that are from the 1800s here to relic hunt or to maybe the 1920s. And I do a lot of work, a lot of research. Every museum knows me here. Every archive knows me here, probably, or they've seen my face. And I have a huge collection of historic history books here, big collections of photo albums of looking at old pictures and items to find relic areas.
Yeah, the looking for the stuff and the history of it. Yeah, I can imagine that can be a full-time job, to try to find sites if it's all been built up mostly.
Yeah, and the one I went to today, when we got there, I realized, wow, developers are on the other side already with bulldozers. And I'm like, that's it. This place is going to be gone within a month or two.
Yeah, and boy, I missed one there. Oh, here we go. Um, Sam Truckley asked, in case I missed it, what was your favorite find? And that was your branding iron, right?
Branding iron. I also have some gold finds that are fun. I have a back of a gold pocket watch that I enjoy. That was fun. I have a gold coin I found that I like, and let's see, just some of the historic stuff. Because really, in Orange County, a lot of the people are happy if they find something from the '60s, '50s. They're really screaming happy. So when we started finding and realizing we can find items, relics from the 1800s here, this was a whole new concept to a lot of us around here. And I've seen beach hunters starting to become relic hunters, but I open the possibilities that there are relics in places you wouldn't even consider could be relics.
Interesting. Now, in your area, do you have any neighborhoods like my shop is in a neighborhood that was built in the teens and 20s? Do you have any neighborhoods like that?
It's all the neighborhoods. I mean, everything's in the late 90s, in the mid 90s. Like, some we're super happy if something's in the 60s built, right? Like, we'll run to those parts hoping there's going to be some silver coins.
Okay, well, Sam Truckley also says, love gold finds. Where was the gold find found?
The gold is a gold coin.
Yeah, did you?
What type of gold coin?
It's an Austrian gold coin. I think I have it right here. Let's see if I can.
Because Phil and myself are on the
No
elusive
gold.
hunt for a gold
Yeah.
coin.
I don't know if I can.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's cool. It comes out of the ground and looks pretty, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't found a gold coin. Yes, I've been looking for a gold coin for over 40 years. So
You did find a gold coin, Phil. That guy that lost it in his car and you found it in his seat.
I did. I found it in the console in his car, between the console and his seat, because he brought it in to test a detector. Then he goes home and says, "Did I leave my coin? I can't find it." So he came back the next day, because I said, "Well, it's not here in the parking lot." So I said, "Open your car up," and he had a real old Jaguar, and I go, and he was inside of a plastic container. So I'm looking in there between the console and his seat. It's like a bucket seat, I guess. And I said, "Well, there it is." I pulled it right out. So I found a gold coin.
That's
And then, and then Jocelyn had found a gold coin at a white's hunt.
oh
And
wow.
I was really mad too. It was a gold coin. Of course, it's a seated hunt
Yeah.
where they seated it. It was for the dealers, to show dealers how it worked. And she says, "I got the gold coin." And I was, oh,
I will say this, Amanda might listen. So I do detect with a gal called Amanda on Instagram. She's more than or, and she is so funny when I find gold. First of all, I find gold and I don't even realize it's gold sometimes because I have sunglasses on or so, and I'll be like, Amanda, come over here. I found something neat. And she's a jeweler by trade, a jewelry designer. So she knows things. And she will, you know, she will swear and say, "That's da 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 gold. Joanna, why are you not jumping up? Why are you not rolling on the ground?" And it's very cute because she's more animated than I am when I get gold, and I'm like, oh, like because I learned from some of some really good detectors that when we find a good find, we don't make a big deal of it so nobody else around wonders what we're doing.
yes.
So
That's smart.
I still, I guess, do that.
Yes, I got it. Jocelyn just told me we had a question and I just flagged it. Do you worry of other detectors stealing your spots that you've scouted out? That's an
I'm
interesting.
I'm pretty secretive of them. So yeah, I'm pretty secretive. Even close friends will say that, I have some spots I go on the weekends, some spots I go during the week. And weekend friends will come on the weekend ones, and during the week friends come. So I'm very secretive of it. I picture wise everything. I've admit that sometimes if you go on Instagram and you see a photo of an item I have found, sometimes it's a relic item and I've taken it to the beach to take a photo. I know that the people here are very smart. They'll look at the grains of sand in pictures to figure out which beaches you're detecting. So I like to throw people off by taking photos of items in different locations so cannot figure out exactly where I found them.
That's
Yeah.
smart, Joanna.
Yeah, and it's smart going to different spots on the weekend and during the week. When I go, I try to go during the week because I don't want to be on the crowds of people on the beach. It's just I'm not interested. I want to do my thing and
Mhm.
get a little relaxation, find some gold. Like this was my gold that I found. These are my 4 rings for the week, and I only got a real tiny little gold one. But hey, it's gold, so I'm happy about that. Anytime you find gold, it's a happy day. Just
Exactly.
just haven't found the gold coin yet. That's the thing. Got to find the gold coin. And I guess Jeff says drinks. Yes, we'll get some drinks later, not now.
Yeah,
Oh
Mike Mayo put a comment on here that he's found a lot of gold grills at the beach.
yes, yeah, I know what beach he's probably hunting too. So some of the beaches are famous for grills. I guess maybe people fight on that beach.
Yeah,
But
how are they losing them from waves? I was thinking of it because a friend found a grill this weekend, and I know a few people have found a few grills, not just one or two. So, I've always presumed it's just in the waves.
yeah, maybe in the waves it came off, or maybe they're fighting. I don't know. We hope it's just a water wave. Too many drinks in the water. That's probably what's happening. And Sam Truckley says Phil, he beat you at the cold drinks already. Okay. Oh, that must be Jeff. Yes. So, what is your favorite coil you run on your Legend?
Between the just the small little round one and the elliptical one, I go back and forth on those two.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have bought the LG 24, which
Mhm.
is I guess a 5x8 or 8x5. What's the
Yeah.
size on that, Joe? Is it 8x5?
On the
LG 24.
oh yeah, that's 8.5 by 5.
Yeah, that was our hottest selling coil ever.
It's a great coil. I use it. I own every coil the Legend has, right? And I definitely use the coil a lot. I just, this some of the areas I'm detecting are so trashy. But I believe you should take different detectors to a spot. You shouldn't be, on one detector. I believe you should be switching coils. So one week I bring the Legend, next day I'll bring the Equinox, and I'll bring the Apex. I will bring the AT Pro. I will take the gamut out to a spot until it's completely detected out almost.
Hmm.
Were you able to get your hands on one of the new Garrett Vortexes yet?
No, I haven't. Nobody around me has one yet. But have you played with one, Phil, or have?
No, we haven't. We just like everybody else. We've seen a lot of videos on it, and I'm interested to see it because it's going to be American-made detector, and we up until this point we don't have a waterproof multi-frequency American-made detector to compete with the Legend or with the Equinox, Manicore, or the
Mhm.
Deus 2.
Or the brand new Mind Lab Elite?
Oh yes, I
Uh,
forgot about the Elite.
that detector, that's a brand new one, and I played with it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, because for an entry level detector, 599, and isn't that right, Joe? 599 for the
Five
expedition.
ninety nine, and you get 2 coils, wireless headphones. You get 6 programs, and it's completely multi-frequency, complete waterproof. We sold just Saturday. We sold what, 3
Three
or
of
4 of them. So
three. We sold three on Saturday. So people want that in the certain price points, and the Garrett is going to be right in that price point also, I believe.
Now, Phil, when somebody comes in to buy that level of a detector, is it that they lost something on the beach and they're buying one quickly to go out, or are they wanting to get into the hobby, or they've been on the fence, or both? Wife lost a ring. I've been thinking of buying a detector. So,
That does happen occasionally, but for the most part, it's somebody wanting to get into the hobby
okay.
and get
absolutely.
started metal detecting. They'll come in. Some of them do all their research ahead of time. First time detector, they come in and say, I want the Manicore.
Mhm.
And I say, good, we got one right here. We'll sell it to you.
Yeah.
But some of them come in and just want to get something that's less expensive to get started. And I find that the multi-frequency units are much better than a single frequency for being on the beach because we've got salt water
Yeah.
everywhere, and it just makes their hunt more enjoyable.
Pleasant.
Like
Right.
Yeah.
like the
Now,
Legend. Go ahead.
now, in your store, what are you selling the most of right now? What's
I would say Mind Lab products
mhm.
still are number one.
And which models?
Mind Lab Manicore, probably that's number 1.
Mhm.
Followed up by the Mind Lab Equinox 900. And
Mhm.
then lately, since we've got these in and people are, on a budget coming in, uh, we don't want to push the higher one on them, but we did get a lot of interest in that new Mind Lab Elite multi-frequency unit. And they
Mhm.
just came out with that Expedition pack. Like I said, it has 2 coils, a large and a small coil, multi-frequency, and wireless headphones. It's for the price point. I don't think there's any detector out there that can beat it.
Yeah,
That's my opinion.
And then you've got Naka's coming out with a triple score soon. We'll be seeing that. That's going
Mhm.
to fall right in that similar price range. So they have a lot of choices for somebody getting started in the hobby. And I've got a question from Tim Anderson. He's asking, does anybody still make pulse induction detectors?
OKM has one. They are actually going to send me their Pulse Nova to test as well. So they have one, a
Is
Pulse PI machine.
is it waterproof, or is that a gold prospecting detector, or what?
It's more of a gold prospecting one,
Okay.
but I want to play with it to see what it can do for on the relic farm.
Yeah, because a lot of people use pulse on the beach,
Hmm.
but I always say the pulse induction is a young man's detector on the beach, because 30 years ago I had one and I cleaned up with it, but I also cleaned up with it. I dug
Yeah,
every target there was.
yeah,
And I don't want to do that today. Everybody today is making detectors with discrimination. And if you are the only guy going with a pulse, you're the only guy digging all the fish hooks, all the bobby pins, all the crab wire, all the rusty bottle caps. It gets old after a while. But I know some people like that technology and they'll still use it on the beach. It's just a very small segment. Don't you?
We still sell quite a few of the Excalibur from
Well,
my
that's
lab. That
Yeah, but
pulse induction
that's
machine.
not a pulse though. Like
No,
the C-Hunter Mark II, the Garrett
okay.
C-Hunter Mark II, that's a pulse. And I think they have a gold detector that's pulse. But
the Axiom isn't that Pulse or
yeah,
no?
that's a pulse. Yes, it is. I say I don't have a lot of experience in that because of my location. I don't sell many gold prospecting detectors.
I will say you asked me what was one of my favorite interviews. I just thought of it. I interviewed m- so I interviewed Steve Moore, but it
Okay.
wasn't the interview that was interesting. I sent him the questions and he sent me a message back very kindly and said, "Joanna, don't take this the wrong way. I wasn't expecting this from you." He goes, "I need to get my engineers involved here." Because the questions I asked were so technical.
Oh,
And
okay.
that just that cracked me up in a good way, right? Like, all right, like I'm doing what I want to do, make it at a level that is not just mundane, questions,
Yes.
mundane advice. So that one was, it really made me smile when Steve Moore said in this nice way, "Joanna, I really wasn't expecting this. Don't take it the wrong way." But I'm kind of shocked at these questions.
Yeah, well, Steve's a good guy. We've had him on here several times, and he's very interesting. And he's
Yeah.
a writer also. And,
Right.
and
Yeah.
he's wrote a lot of books on World War II and different topics. And I think on
Those two Axiom articles are really good. If someone's interested in the Axiom, the two articles are good. We discuss on how it could be used for relic hunting as well. I basically looked at every rumor and misinformation about the Axiom, and I went and I asked them questions on exactly that to clear up what's the truth.
now, does that axiom, and I'm not familiar with that detector, does it have any discrimination?
I can't remember. I mean, I wrote the articles a while ago. I've not swung it. The sad thing, it's not waterproof. That could have been a good beach machine if they made it waterproof.
Yes. That's
Mhm.
why that's why for us the Apex wasn't a real hot seller because it wasn't waterproof. Had it been
Right.
waterproof, we had those what a year or two ago, and that would have been a hot seller here.
Mhm.
And
As I mentioned, I'm helping American. I'm remaking the American Detector Distributors website. So I speak a lot with Bill, and Bill always is saying, we need waterproof detectors. People want waterproof detectors. It's, no matter what, even if they never take it in the water, they want a waterproof detector. So for a manufacturer, I think they're going the right direction when they're making things waterproof.
yes, because a simple thing like us here in Florida, um, we have a downpour can happen in a second. It happened to me today. I got hosed just getting in from the car into the shop. That
Mhm.
happens when you're out in the woods somewhere. If your detector, if you never take it into water, but it is waterproof, then you don't have to worry about that. So that's a good thing. And it's smart that they're going with lighter detectors. Everything's getting lighter now. That's smart also. And like you said earlier about it being more compact, that
Yes.
that is a big sell point when you can compress it all the way down and just put it in the back seat of your car. I think
Right.
Yeah.
people like that, or your backpack.
Yeah. The vortex, it looked like it really compacted down. That was one photo that made me go, "Ooh, look at that's actually compacted down nicely."
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I'm interested in seeing that detector in my hand because,
yeah,
like Phil said, it's an American-made detector, and Garrett's a great company. It's just they're we're definitely very, very slow coming out of the gate, especially here in the state of Florida, because the majority of hunters are beach hunters. So I think that detector, depending on the weight of it and everything, I think it's going to be a real winner for us.
Mhm.
yeah, will be. But Joe, I think you're wrong about saying the majority of hunters are beach hunters, because we do have a lot of land hunters.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
However, this time of year they slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
When it's 90 degrees and 100% humidity, it's kind of tough to do. So, but though, like myself, I know in the wintertime I'll shift over to dirt digging because it's cooler, it's nice, and it's more enjoyable then. And then try to do the beach and water hunting this time of the year.
Mhm. And then there's crazy me who, in the dead of heat, will go into, in a canyon and then climb to the top of the hill to detect for relics where everybody should be at the beach in cool areas.
Right, but you're taking a lot of water and stuff in your
Oh, yeah,
backpack, right? So,
definitely.
yeah, that's why, in my store, I've sold very few backpacks
Mhm.
because our hunters are like me and Joe. We drive to a location, we get out of the vehicle, and we hunt right there. Now, if you're on the beach, yeah, you just throw your water bottles in your pouch and you go and,
Right.
and hunt for 2 or 3 hours. But you're always close to your car, so
Yeah.
there's very little backpacking. But I know other areas up north, they're doing what you're doing. They're packing it in and doing it. It's
Mhm.
just we're not really doing that. So, what's your next detector that you want to get?
I almost, when the Manicore sale was on, I almost bought the Manicore, except I was in South Carolina and I missed it. I literally came back and I called to say, yeah, I want to buy one. And they're like, oh, that sale ended a couple days ago. And I was like, oh, no. So if there's another sale on the Manicore, I'll probably get one. The triple score, no, not the triple score, I definitely want to play with, and I want to definitely. And I still don't have an XP Days. Now I've used them, but I don't own one. So I have I have a lot of detectors, and I like that because then when I interview people and they're using those detectors, I'm asking questions because I'm going out in the field and testing things to come up with the questions. So um, an XP machine would be good. The XP, the Days 2, it's a great machine on the beach. Manicore, just because, I enjoy the Equinox, but I also see my friends with the Manicore doing really great with them. And I'll play with the Vortex, right? They send me the Vortex, and I'll definitely play with it and understand it. I can't make a decision on the vortex yet. I'm watching very closely everywhere what people are saying, but there's a lot of people talking about it, but it's not in their hands, right? I want to hear what people are saying once it's in their hands. Um,
Absolutely.
and there's not a machine that I won't swing, right? I mean, if I found another Tesoro at a garage sale, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy machines. Oh, this is it. I Here's one for you. I came across somebody who was using a bounty hunter and was a really good detectorist. They were okay when we first
Yeah.
started, but with my knowledge and their use of the bounty hunter, they became extremely good detectorists with a cheap bounty hunter. What they're finding with a cheap bounty hunter blows my mind away. I bought a cheap bounty hunter. I take that out sometimes too, and it's amazing what it can do with relic hunting.
Yeah, I think it's not a lot of times it's not necessarily the detector, it's the person swinging the detector and where they're at, what they're going to find. Hey, I did have this comment I want to comment on real quick. Due to MindLab never discussing why the 800 kept leaking, I'm shy about buying another MindLab. I own two 800s that will never be submerged again.
Mhm.
And Gene, I would say, the Manticore and the 700 and the 900 have all been updated. And I think they're just more waterproof now. They're waterproof to 16 feet. So I wouldn't be concerned about that. I would be concerned about a 800 if it's out of warranty, because then they're not going to send you a free uh, detector. So, um,
I, I will say, in the summer, last summer, I had the Legend underwater every day for 30 days. I was lake detecting with it, and it was amazing. As you know, it was submerged a foot down, from the unit, from the control unit, almost daily for 30 days, and nothing happened, and it was great as being under the water. So that's just a consideration, and I was really seeing, would it leak, would it have the issues like it did, like the 800s did, and it didn't. It was really good.
yeah, I've haven't I think might have had one guy who had trouble with his 900, and actually I had one guy break a coil on his 900, and he's I think a member of Treasure Talk, which was very unusual because they updated those the coiliers, and then I see a comment from
Ricky T.
yes from did you get that one?
Yeah, I'll put it up there.
You know how to do it,
Let's
Joe?
see.
I didn't see you do it, buddy.
It it ain't working for me.
Oh, okay. All right.
You
Well,
got me blocked, Phil.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Ricky T had his buddy buy a new Manticore, yeah, and it leaked, but they took care of it right away. So, luckily, he bought it locally from me, and yeah, and he could come in and we just swapped it out. And Mind Lab took care of that. And I can't find that comment. And then I had another one from.
Wait, can I stop you there
Oh,
because you
right
said
ahead.
something? You said something good. He bought it from you. For your listeners, it's very important that you buy it from dealers, local dealers, because when it comes to warranty work, warranty issues, going through that dealer is going to be a lot easier than buying it, from a big company, from, the Amazon where you don't have a personal relationship. So I really would like to see more people, supporting the local dealers, giving them business, because when something happens, like a machine floods or something breaks, it's going to be a lot easier return process.
Yes, it will be, especially
And
when the dealers. Go ahead, Joe.
and when excuse me, and when people come in the shop, especially on Saturday when I'm there, we're able to take the time to go through the steps, step by step, with the person that bought the detector and the new detector they purchased, so that when they leave the shop, they can feel confident to go out there and use it, not to have to go and look at 20 YouTube videos. We go above and beyond by teaching our customers how to use the detector that they've actually purchased. So, Phil, some detectors I'm a detectspert on, and the majority of them Phil is. Like the Excalibur. Phil knows more about that detector than I do. I'm very well versed in all the Mind Lab products except for that one. I'm really I like detectors that are multi-frequency, that can act and take out all the salinity and mineralization out of the soil, and it makes it easier and more pleasant for the customer to go out there and find targets.
Yeah, they have a good time hunting. So yeah, it's best to buy from a local dealer if you can, because then you have somebody who stands behind you.
Right.
And I did want to tell you this, Joanna, if you want one of those Manticores, hit me up. Okay, I'm
Okay.
because right now they have this special with 3 coils. But if you don't want the 3 coils, Joe and I will work something out for sure.
Maybe the 3 coils. I like I said, I enjoy coils. So
Oh, okay. Either way,
okay.
I just want to say that. And then this is from Shannon Bortner. She said, Mind Labs repair customer service is great, quick, and easy. If you have a problem, they're and they are in warranty. And I'll say that for all the manufacturers, for Naka and for Garrett too, because I've had to send stuff to Garrett before, and they were top notch. All of them are. And I wouldn't be selling it if they weren't, because I'm not going to be fighting with their customer service department. They're
Mhm.
good companies, and they all stand behind their product. Oh, geez, the time has gone, Joanna.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We're at our hour has gone.
That's fine.
So thank you for coming on here with us, and thank you to the many members who are watching and contributing and putting in questions. And thank you, Jocelyn. Happy birthday, and thank you, Joe.
Oh,
Thank
it was my pleasure meeting you, Joanna. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for
Very,
having.
very interesting. I'm actually going to sign in with you on your Instagram for sure.
Okay.
and also the website.
And I'm going to look at the website for
Yes,
sure.
look at that, since you're not on Facebook. All right, so thank you, Joanna,
Welcome.
and hopefully you'll come back on again.
Yeah, have me again. It'd be my pleasure.
Okay. All right, we'll see you. Everybody, good night. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Absolutely.
Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.